everyone! So this week I'm going to be doing a quick video going through my new bookshelf. I got a brand new bookshelf. I'm super excited. It's got 5 shelves now, so I have a little bit more room, although I'm still having to do the thing where I stack books right here. But this week I'm going to be doing that. This video was supposed to come out last Sunday, but life happened, and I'm going to be hoping that I am able to film at least 2 videos a month now. Things have gotten a lot better in my life, so recently I'm thinking I'm going to be able to film 2 videos a month, possibly a book review and then my overview of the month. But we'll see what happens. It likely will have more, but if not, don't get mad at me because this is a brand new thing I'm doing. Also, the camera's very shaky right now because I'm not using my tripod, and I film on my phone, so but my tripod is very broken, so I can't use it. Anyway, I'm gonna show off my bookshelf, I guess. So on my top shelf up here, I have all my books sorted. Actually, I might just tell you all how I organize the entire bookshelf first. So my bookshelf is organized in rainbow order, as you can see, except for the bottom 2 shelves, the one on the floor, and then this one up here, are organized by series, with last name of the author. So I have, my B's over here, my C's, and then going through the alphabet in their series order. And then over here I have all the other books I've read that are not part of a series, or I do not own extra books in the series. Like Wonder does have a series associated with it, but I don't own the second book in the series. And then every book from Hunger Games over and up is books I had not read, also organized in rainbow order. So on my top shelf up here, I have the 4 most recent books I bought that need to be put into the bookshelf. It requires some reorganization, just how I do my rainbow. So I tend to not put things in immediately after getting them, as well as 3 little Funko Pops. I have an Avatar, they're all Avatar Funko Pops. I'm stumbling over my words, sorry. I have an Aang, a Zuko, and a tiny Momo, and my dog scratches on my door while I record, of course. So some notable features on this top shelf of books I haven't read are The Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I just finished last month. I'll have a book review, I believe, on that sometime this week. And then just a bunch of series. I have the entire Nemesis series, the first book right here, and then Chrysalis, I believe, is the 3rd, and Genesis. I have all those. I haven't read them. I've read about half of Nemesis, but it just was really hard for me to get through, so I did not finish it. I'm hoping to be able to read it sometime later this year. I also have a bunch of books. If you see any of these books that are these little skinny books, or the ones that have the Dell label, I think it says Dell. Yeah, it says Dell on top of them. So I have about 3 right here, a couple right there, a few right there. Those were all inherited from my dad, and oh my gosh, my dog is so loud. What do you want? Okay, bye, baby. I have a bunch of those, and I haven't read them, but I plan to read them through, so I just put them over on my not read yet book section, so I could do that. I have a couple other books I've inherited. For the most part, my book selection is about, like, a lot of my newer books are new to my stuff. On the second shelf here, I have a bunch more of the unread books. It ends about here, and then it starts up my red section with The Devil's Arithmetic, which I put in the red because it's a dark red cover, and it looks kind of cool next to the black books of my unread section. I also have my pile of books that are meant to be read this month. I pull these out every month, give myself a little stack. That way I have something, and then also this is a lot of times where I take photos for Instagram, or I'll take them down here. So if you ever see my Instagram photos and you're wondering what's in the background, it's on either my second or third shelf, as they are my easiest accessible shelves. I have, if you want to look at the individual books I have back there, those are them. And then all of these books I'm reading this month, or planning to read this month, are brand new, except for The Goose Girl, which is one of my all-time favorite books, and I like to reread it at least once a year, that entire series, so planning on that. And then on this shelf I have 3 more Funko Pops. I have Vexalia, Percival, and Scanlan, all from Critical Role. These were bought before The Legend of Vox Machina came out, and I'm not sure if they're doing I've heard rumors that they possibly would redesign them, and if they did, I'd be kind of upset, just because I didn't get all 7 of them, but I'm still happy with what I have. And they get kind of moved around a little bit, but I love them so much. Big Critical Role fan. I have an entire bookshelf dedicated to D&D stuff, so. Then I have just all of these that are unread up to there. I already said that. Then everything else on this shelf is also read. So yeah, there's a couple books missing from this shelf, I believe, right now, just because I have someone borrowing the book, and I cannot remember which book it is. But I will find out. I have the issue where some of these books, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, right here, has the sequel, and I do own the sequel. So once I finish that sequel, they will move down to one of the bottom two shelves. But for now, it is in my little single once read shelf. This painting also is from when I was able to go to France. There was a castle. I do not remember the name of the castle. It's a French castle. We went and toured it, and it was this beautiful castle. And like this section is like super old, and the rest of it is 15 to 1600s, I believe. And then this section is like 1100s or something crazy old. I don't remember the exact dates. I would have to go look through my old journals. But that's a watercolor piece that I just put in this cute frame that I have. So that sits on my shelf at all times. Down here, I have on my fourth shelf all of my the beginning sets of my series. So I have I'm missing currently the first book in the School for Good and Evil series. My sister is borrowing it, and I do own 3, 4, and 5, but they are all unread, so they are in my unread section. I do not own 6, and I don't know if there's a 7th. I haven't kept up with the School for Good and Evil that much, but I have met the author, and he's a great guy, so I definitely want to read that series. I also have a lot of Shannon Hell. They're scattered everywhere. I love Shannon Hell. She's one of my favorite authors. I met her a couple times, and she's super cool. Yeah, she's like one of my biggest writing inspirations, so I own a lot of her work, which The Goose Girl, the first book in this series, is up there. So if you're interested in Shannon Hill, I recommend The Goose Girl a lot. I also have my Percy Jackson, and I've never really heard anyone talk about these books online, but they're called Sunny Side Up, and then they're the Sunny series. They're graphic novels. They're aimed predominantly at middle school to like junior high age, but honestly, I really like them. They talk about topics of drug use and alcohol use with older siblings and how that affects a young child. They also talk about like just kind of a little more dark topics that aren't necessarily always discussed. They talk about bullying, and it's set in the 70s, so if that's something you're ever interested in, it's amazing. Also, the third one has D&D in it, so I love it so much. I love the little D20 on the side. It's my favorite. I legitimately cried at the end of that one, so that one was really good. I only own the Percy Jackson series of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. I do not own Heroes of Olympus, which is a big oof on my end. Is something I definitely need to own, but it is something that is on my to be bought list rather than like something. I would love to own it one day. It's just something I haven't bought yet, and it's definitely something I need to. So, and then on my bottom shelf, also there's stickers from a college fair that I went to in Utah. So, and then on my bottom shelf, I have a lot more of my series books. I do not own the entire Harry Potter series, and also all of my Harry Potter books are thrifted because in this household we do not support J.K. Rowling and her disgusting beliefs. So I will thrift all my Harry Potter books that I own. And then I have the Little House on the Prairie series, which is also another series that got me into reading, so I've definitely kept up with owning it. And then the Uglies series, which I only own the first 2 of the 4. They are both thrifted, and my goal is to eventually own all of them, but I just haven't gotten around to buying all of them. Plus, this is the second incarnation of the covers, and I have to find the specific covers online because they don't print with those covers anymore. So, alright, this is my second bookshelf. The first 2 shelves include art supplies. The second shelf is all D&D stuff. And then the third shelf is my nonfiction collection, as well as just I have just, you know, nonfiction. So we have everything that has like a, what is it called? Like a Dewey Decimal System types numbers. I have them all sitting on the books. So like this one is 423.1. And I know that, and it goes in, and they all just kind of line up. These books have been accumulated through thrifting. A couple have been bought secondhand. A couple have been, this one is a book of a month one, which I'm very excited to read. I have not read it yet. But a lot of these books have been just given to me over the years, and are some that I've just kind of, you know, collected. So these are more books I don't necessarily read every day, whereas my other books would be something I might pick up and read in a day. These are books that I come to for like different things. The Glass Castle, I think, is the most recent one I've read on this shelf, but I have attempted to read Undeniable recently, and The Secrets of the U.S. Presidents one is more like a kind of like a children's book, but I keep it on the shelf because it does have a number. Killers of the Flower Moon is one I've attempted to read recently. Educated is amazing. Read Educated. I don't care if you don't like nonfiction, you're gonna love it. And then I have my Wormwood dice tray, my fancy one that I got for Christmas, sitting up here as well, just because it's something that used to sit underneath this other dice tray that I made, but it needs to be accessed almost every week, at least twice a week, so I keep it right here, and then I'm able to just grab my dice and then run and do whatever I need to do. As well, on this shelf, I also have my 2 Critical Role Vox Machina Origins. One of them is a little bit damaged, but we live with her. I'm super excited for the other ones to come out in the book form. I'm not a big comic person, but I do love graphic novels, and I understand that the comic books are just being made into graphic novels, so I might as well just wait for that to happen. I don't own the Mighty Nine Oranges yet, but it is something that I am looking to purchase in the near future. The bottom 2 shelves on this bookshelf, it has 4 shelves, include a lot of art supplies that I don't use anymore, and then just miscellaneous kind of things that I use on an everyday basis. I'm not really going to show those off. So I think that is the majority of my bookshelf tour. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for watching if you've watched this far. If you are interested in possibly knowing more about my bookshelf process, or how I organize my books, and that'd be something you'd want to see, let me know. Anyway, I hope everyone has a nice day, and happy reading.